Hi, it's Lisa from Lisa Heal Yourself, and I'm here today to talk to you about nourishment. I just talked to you about nourishment when it comes to foods and diets and what nourishment actually means, right? It doesn't just mean flooding your body with the right nutrients and the right minerals, but it also means that you feel nourished at a deep level in your soul. So today I want to extend that we know that everything that we do on this healing journey has to nourish us. So if it doesn't, it's probably not healing, right? So all your protocols, are they nourishing? Are they nourishing to you? Are they nourishing to you? Do you feel nourished when you have your supplements? Do you feel nourished and like you're being taken care of when you're doing certain protocols? Or, do you feel it's good for your mind, your body, your soul? Or do you feel exhausted, worn out, worn down, confused, stressed, and scared by your protocols? So that is, something to really be aware of. But today, I'm even going to take it a step further. I want to talk about your thoughts. I want to talk about your feelings. I want to talk about basically your life. So while we think of nourishment as being a physical and it happens with food, nourishment also happens. We can be nourished on a thought basis and in our relationships and in our jobs and in our life and as parents and as friends, like our friends and our families. And my question for you, are those things in your life nourishing you? So is your relationship with your parents, your children, your spouse nourishing to you? Or is it stressful? Now, don't get me wrong, everything's stressful in life. Life is stressful, but do you feel nourished and loved and taken care of and soothed and calmed and comforted and just feeling like a sense of peace and home? Like when you're home with your family, do you feel home in your soul? That is how you know you're being nourished by these people. If you're always feeling on edge, stressed, sad, scared, you aren't being nourished at a soul level. And the problem may be with them, but the problem most likely is with you. Why aren't you being nourished? Like, what is it that you want that you are putting up walls and not allowing in? But really, I'm not here. This isn't really about your relationships. It's about your thoughts. And it's on a very, very, very deep level. Do your thoughts and feelings about what you think about your family nourish you? Do your thoughts and feelings about what you think about your protocols or your food actually nourish you? Do your thoughts and feelings about what you think your life should be, are they nourishing? So it comes down to your own thoughts. Are your thoughts nourishing or not? So when you think about the food, or you think about your family, or you think about your relationship, or you think about your job, or you think about your to-do list, are you putting nourishing thoughts in your mind? Do you feel nourished? What does it mean to be nourished, right? It means to be taken care of physically, mind, body, and soul, and feeling like you're getting what you need to feel whole. That's basically on a whole level. You feel like you're getting what you need to feel complete and whole inside. Completely, healthy, vibrant, filled with love and joy and ease and comfort and safety. So nourishment is not just from food. It's not just from your supplements. It's not just from your relationship, but nourishment mostly starts with your own thoughts. Are you nourishing yourself? Are you nourishing yourself with kind, loving thoughts? Are you nourishing your thoughts? Like, are you thinking kind things and saying kind things and being very nutritive to yourself with your thoughts? But also, are the thoughts about what you think is going on with your family or your relationship, or that they're all just thoughts? It's not even reality about what's happening. It's like there's a relationship between you and somebody, but it's your thought that's real. The relationship is just based on thoughts and feelings. So what are your thoughts and feelings about the way that you perceive this relationship? Is it nourishing? It doesn't mean the relationship has to end. It means your thoughts about the parts that aren't nourishing have to end. So there's a very subtle distinction, but it's super key to think about. When you're going through your day, you might, be thinking nourishing thoughts to yourself and trying to give yourself nourishing thoughts. But when something comes up, you think it's an event, like, something comes up and it's an event or it's a situation, and it's not really an event or a situation. It's your thought about the event or the situation which spirals and can spiral out of control, or can be negative, or can be hurtful or harmful to your health. So you have to remember that thinking nourishing thoughts isn't just feeding your body, positive thinking. It's about creating a nourishing environment for your thoughts. When a situation arises, just remember, I can nourish myself in this situation, or I can feed myself with fear, right? So you have the ability to choose your thought in any situation. And what your thoughts and your feelings are the same. So how do you feel? So if thoughts are too complicated, think, how do I feel about that situation? How do I feel about that event? That feeling is also the same as the thought. So if you're feeling sadness or hurt or anger or grief, or you're just feeling exhausted, that's a feeling. So feel that. But no, is that nourishing you? Is that feeling nourishing you? So again, thoughts and feelings are the same thing. They're two different ways to perceive. One is a thought, you are thinking about the event. One is a feeling, you are feeling a certain way about it. But they are the same, and thoughts precede feelings, feelings precede thoughts. They are the same, and it's just how you perceive yourself in this world, in this moment. And we have two ways to do that, through feelings and through thoughts. But if they're not nourishing, if they're not nourishing your soul, then you're off track. So if you feel sadness and grief, you feel it. You don't want to bombard it with a whole bunch of I don't want to feel you, so I'm going to cover you up with positive thinking and positive thoughts. No, that is the feeling. That's authentic. That's real. It's okay to have that feeling. It's okay to have the thought about the feeling. But that is your experience in this present moment. And if you stay in that, that will be your experience in the next present moment. But each present moment brings with it its own ability to either feel something that is not nourishing for your soul, or to feel something that is nourishing for your soul. And you can choose to think of it in a different way, to feel it in a different way, to feel it from the sense of being nourished. What about the situation can I do to nourish myself? Well, I'm just going to sit down and take a break, or I'm going to realize that all this is going on outside me and it actually has nothing to do with me. I'm going to realize that I don't have control in this situation anyways, so I don't need to do anything. Maybe that's a nourishing thought. Or maybe the nourishing thought is, I'm just going to sit down and have a tea and see what happens next. Maybe that's nourishing. Or maybe your nourishing thought is, it's okay to say my feelings right now and cry. And maybe that actually makes you feel nourished, because it feels good to be heard and to let our feelings out and to be comforted, right? Sometimes when you cry, you feel comforted, you feel loved, you can feel, so it's not all bad, but it's how can you nourish yourself in that moment? What is the most nourishing thing that you can think or do that's gonna feel true? Not, oh, I'm just gonna feed myself and force myself to think all these positive thoughts. That's not what I mean, because maybe that's not very nourishing thing that you can do in this moment, right? If somebody just dies, your mother just dies, and you say, I don't want to think about that, I'm going to feed it a whole bunch of positive thoughts, and I'm not going to let myself feel That's not a very nourishing thing to do. Maybe the most nourishing thing in that moment to do is say, sit down, feel your feelings, cry, let me love you, let me put you on the couch, let me snuggle a blanket around you, let me bring you a cup of tea, and just sit there for a few hours and cry and sob and feel it. And maybe in the next moment, the kindest thing you can do is put on an old movie or read a card or read a book or look at pictures. But it nourishes you on a level because it makes you feel more comforted, more heard, more seen, more loved, more cherished, more nourished on a real true level. So it doesn't always mean it has to be the happy thing that you need to do, but what is going to nourish you, maybe when your kids are acting crazy and they're running around and you're screaming but you're unhappy with yourself. You feel bad about the reaction that you're doing. So it's not a nourishing thing to do. Maybe the most nourishing thing that you can do for yourself in that situation is just let the mess be on the floor, or let your kids do what they want, or sit them down and tell them what you want from them. Tell them your feelings. Tell them it can't be this way anymore. What is going to feel most nourishing to you in the moment that you're doing the right thing, that you feel more closer to your whole true self, that you feel more heard, more loved, more seen, more taken care of, more soothed, more comforted, more whole, and more nourished. So in the moment, it's about nourishing yourself on every level, nourishing your thoughts and nourishing your feelings by bringing yourself into more wholeness, completeness, love, joy. And it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be happy, but it has to be what you need. What do you need in this moment to feel more nourished, right? And so sometimes that is thinking happy thoughts or doing amazing happy things or doing something for someone else, but sometimes it is having something done for you or asking for love or requesting, time or a little extra care for you. It's not always the same, but in the moment you do know what you need, and there's a need and a wholeness that you feel broken or far away from. And nourishment is really just about giving your body, your mind, your soul, your body, everything that it needs to be able to come home and feel complete and whole. And that's really what nourishment is. So I hope that this video has been helpful, and I hope that you think about nourishing yourself in each moment back to health, back to healing, because that's how we heal ourselves. We nourish ourselves back to health on every level. Really, we nourish our mind, our thinking, our thoughts, and our whole being. So I hope this has been helpful.